S41, war number 12, the final war of the season, and we are up against GT40. This time my team will be Tigra, Valkyrie and Absorbing Man. I will be taking Path 5 in Section 1, as well as the Terrax and Killmonger on the shared fights. Then I'm taking Path 5 in Section 2, as well as that Absorbing Man on the shared fight. And finally, I will be taking all the right side mini-bosses, as well as that Annihilus boss. Now this war is a fun one. I got my newly ranked up, rank 5 Absorbing Man, and I got a lot of fights with him. Starting up with a Hulkling on the ebb and flow knockdown and right back at it nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Absorbing Man. I have taken this fight before with Valkyrie. It is very slow, so this time they should be a lot faster. Game plan here is to just spam special ones for the whole fight to keep my former find, and that's about it. Since I keep constantly using the special one, I will keep knocking him down as well, meaning the protection from ebb and flow is gonna stay down for most of the fight, increasing my damage output quite a bit. Now one thing that I could do here, but I'm not doing, is the heavy chain into a special one to increase my critical rating. And the main reason I'm not doing that is because of the right back at it node making my parry stance not work due to him being debuff immune. While I could bait heavy attacks, I don't really want to take the block damage, so instead I just throw the special ones without the heavy. And as you can see, it is working very well. He went down in under a minute, Absorbing Man has barely taken a dent, and yeah, it's just a very satisfying fight, being able to spam those unblockable special ones over and over again and just seeing the opponent's health bar melt. Then we have a Mordo on the ebb and flow intercept and heavy hitter nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Absorbing Man as well, and this fight starts off horribly. I eat multiple combos and get cornered to start off with, but that's fine. Absorbing Man is a tank, as long as you have the right form active for the job. Mordo's basic attacks deal physical damage, so being in Uru form basically just made him hit like a noodle, so Absorbing Man is as if he never got hit in the first place. I go for a heavy chain in the special one here to remove the protection, and now he's just melting. I go for a medium like medium to trigger the big vulnerability, chain in the special one, and down he goes. A very quick fight. Absorbing Man is basically at full health, even though he ate multiple combos to start with, and he's not going down anytime soon. Next up we have a Terrax on the ebb and flow knockdown and right back at it nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Absorbing Man, starting in the magma form instead. The reason for the magma form is the energy resistance it gives Absorbing Man, meaning the rock field does close to nothing. At the same time, the rock field is constantly feeding me those morph charges, or whatever they are called, I can't remember exactly. And now I'm fully ramped up. I go for a parry heavy to knock him down to remove the protection, and then just drop the special 2. With all those big vulnerabilities, he just melts, and he went down in 22 seconds. Absorbing Man once again not even feeling the pain, as if he never even got any rock field damage in the first place. Next up we have a Killmonger on the Hazard Shift, Incinerate and Shock node, and I'm taking this fight with Absorbing Man starting in the magma form. I do also have Odin's shock resistance pre-fight here, which is not necessary due to Absorbing Man's very high energy resistance, but it is a nice safety net in case I accidentally drop out of the form at some point. Now the game plan here is to just make sure I never fall out of the form, keep throwing special 2s to refresh and refine the form as well, and then just manage the reverberation myself by making sure Killmonger doesn't have too much power when he triggers it. The reverb is based on the amount of power Killmonger had at the time of the reverberation's activation, so just baiting the specials and before hitting him to trigger it significantly lowers the damage. Now for the special 2 I will also be going for the heavy chain by baiting a heavy from Killmonger, punishing it with my heavy and then throwing the special 2 for the increased critical rating for the special and due to Killmonger's high critical resistance. And as you can see, it does make a big difference in landing those crits when you really want to speed things up a bit. Killmonger went down pretty quickly without any issues, and Absorbing Man is still standing at very high health. Then we have a Mephisto on the Ebb and Flow intercept node, and I'm taking this with Absorbing Man, starting with the Magma form. And originally I was planning on using Tigra here and just nuking him down, but due to the node that increases the defender's attack for each debuff on them, I decided to go with Absorbing Man instead. And Absorbing Man does work well, due to him being Incinerate immune in the Magma form, and Mephisto doesn't also do anything to the burst damage that Absorbing Man deals, so your damage output will not suffer either. Now the issue here is that Mephisto is currently bugged when dealing with passive Incinerates. So the way Mephisto is supposed to work is that when he would take Incinerate damage, he instead gains power passively, just like he does with his auras. But with passive Incinerates, he sometimes gets a permanent power gain and sometimes not at all. So to avoid him gaining the permanent power gain, I did not go for my special 2 here to refine my form. In hindsight, I should have and just nuked him down quickly, but because I didn't want to risk him getting the permanent power gain, I did not do it. I tried to go for an intercept there before going for my special 3 to refresh my form, but once again I probably should have just gone for the special 2 instead to just get out of here quickly. Even if I do have to eat a special 3, it is not gonna kill me. Absorbing Man is tanky enough to survive 1, maybe even 2, even without the invulnerability boost. But at this point I am a little bit scared. I'm cornered, I have the form refined, so all of my hits or any contact I deal with Mephisto is triggering the Incinerates on him, and all that power gain did get him to his special 3. Luckily I do survive it, and it didn't do all that much damage either. Few more hits, Mephisto goes down, but Absorbing Man did take quite a hit there. Definitely should have just gone for the special 2 nuke, but with all these bugs I did not want to risk it. Next up we have an America Chavez on the Ebb and Flow intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. I was considering using Absorbing Man here, but since last time when I used Tigra here it worked out very well, I decided to just go with Tigra again since I've already done it and I'm pretty comfortable with it as well. There really isn't any risk of dying here, as long as you got the spacing down for both of her specials, and other than that, you just have to spam heavies in the corner, bait specials, punish them with your heavy, and repeat. Doesn't matter if you lose your senses, doesn't matter if Mighty Charge removes the ruptures, she will go down eventually, and her health pool is not too high either, so it's gonna be a fast fight. Then we have an Absorbing Man on Ebb and Flow intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. And once again, this is a matchup that I wasn't sure if I should use Absorbing Man on or Tigra instead. And I went with Tigra for the simple reason that I do have Despair on that I can use to deal with the regeneration if need be. That being said, the Mighty Charge poses an issue there, but as long as I don't actually need to resort to that, we'll be just fine. Now my first special 2 here landed nicely with the protection down, and with a few ruptures on the opponent, but unfortunately the Uru form was still up, so my damage was heavily reduced, because Tigra's damage is all physical. Ideally I don't want him to be in either of his forms, but especially the Uru form, because that is what basically makes Tigra hit like a noodle. This fight went a lot better than I was expecting. It didn't even last a minute, and I've seen a lot of people even die to this guy on these nodes with counters like Red Hulk or even Human Torch before, so I was very pleased with the outcome there. Could have gone a lot worse, but turns out Tigra is good, so that is good to know going forward. And then we have an infamous Iron Man on the Safeguard miniboss node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. I do have the advanced power boost on here, so the game plan is to bait and punish 2 heavy attacks with my heavy to get to my special 2, throw it, and then see what happens. Ideally, this would take iDoom to at least below 50%, so that a second special 2 should finish him off. And it does, so now I just hold my block, pray that he doesn't throw a random special 1, and then another heavy counter into a special 2, and down he goes. Absolutely no issues there, that went very well. Did take some block damage, but that's fine, it was the last Tigra fight anyways, and even then, I'd rather take this than the previous iDoom I had to fight. That took over a minute and a half, I think. And then we have a Korg on the Polka Dot Power and Stunning Reflection miniboss node, and once again I'm taking this fight with Valkyrie. Now, I was kinda tempted to use Absorbing Man here, but since I can't gain any power with him, I cannot keep the magma form up the whole fight, making this fight pretty risky and just plain stupid with him. So I ended up going with Valkyrie anyways. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, Valkyrie is not a great option for Korg, because she doesn't really deal with these abilities, making it a, well, less than ideal option. As long as you're comfortable with the matchup and you're used to it, it is a very fun one to take, but on a node like this it's also very slow and there are better options. That being said, I do also have the mini-boss after this one to take with Valkyrie, so since I was already here, I was boosted, might as well let me take this one. We are not winning the war on time anyways against GT40, so nothing to lose there. Now, since I have gone over this matchup in the past already, I'm not gonna explain anything more, there is nothing more for me to really say here. Otherwise I'm just gonna sound like a broken record, unless I am already, so I'm just gonna let this fight play out. Two and a half minutes into the fight, and down he goes. Not the fastest fight, not the best counter, but she does work if you know what you're doing. Next up we have a rank 5 Jessica Jones on the Brute Force miniboss node, and I'm taking this with Valkyrie. The game plan here is pretty simple. I'm just gonna be aggressive, hit her as much as possible, and I'm gonna be ramping up both the Pierce and the Bulwark buffs quickly by alternating my combo enders here. Then I'm just gonna get to my special 2, throw it into her block, and then just nuke her down. This fight, provided the AI plays nicely and throws their specials consistently, is a very quick one. And Valkyrie is one of the best counters for Jessica Jones in general, due to her ability to completely bypass the unstoppable, and the fact that she also shrugs off, or at least can shrug off, the weakness debuffs when throwing specials, meaning your damage output is not gonna be reduced as much as some other champions would be. Almost a minute into the fight, and she's basically down. Just one more special 2 into the block, and a couple hits to follow up with, and down she goes. Rank 5 or not, Jessica Jones is not an issue for Valkyrie. Then we have the final fight of this war, and the final fight of the season. An Annihilus boss that I'm taking with Absorbing Man, starting in the Uru form. And this fun is a very fun one. The game plan I have here is to just use an invulnerability boost, because I'm not gonna be baiting any specials. If he gets to a special 3, he gets to a special 3, I don't care. I'm simply blocking hits to allow him to trigger his Stifle debuffs on me, then I'm gonna Dex to trigger the unstoppable buffs, allow those to feed my Mystic Dispersion, punish the heavies with my heavy, drop my special 1 to chain it in to get the full crits, and that's it. That is the whole game plan here, and you're gonna see something very fun. Annihilus is just melting, and now I'm fully ramped up, so my next special 1 is gonna be a big one. It's gonna inflict all the vulnerabilities, and Annihilus's health bar is just melting. Now, due to all of the flourish buffs on him, his power gain is also crazy, so he did get the special 3 here, but all this does is give me more Stifle debuffs, meaning more MD for me whenever I Dex. So I Dex, drop a special 1, Dex again, drop another special 1, I'm back at another special 1, I Dex. I tried to go for it there as well, but he was faster with his special 1, but that's fine. Got my block up in time, I repeat, drop another special 1, and he's dead. He basically didn't have a chance there at all. I could have eaten 2 more special 3s from him and I wouldn't have died. And yeah, Absorbing Man just destroyed him. Now there is a way to do the fight faster, and that's probably not the ideal playstyle, but damn was it effective. As for the results, we did end up losing the war 0-1. GT40 got the donut, and with that they keep their number 1 spot for the season, whereas we finished somewhere in the top 10. Now as for my season stats, I did end up with 111 attacker kills and 1 death. Out of those attacker kills, 6 of them were bosses, which were all solos, and my deathless streak, or rather the deathless season, was once again ruined by a single Ebony Maw, which is annoying, but I can't be too mad at that. This was still a great season, not one of my best, but not one of my worst either, so I am happy with the season stats this time around. As for the next season, I will once again do my best to try to get the war videos out on time, but I can't make promises. As we saw this time around, I started out well, but then I just kinda got backed up, and here we are. Anyways, that being said, I do want to thank you all for watching this and the other war videos I had this season. I will keep making them, and I'm very much looking forward to the next season of Alliance War, even though the global looks horrible. But we'll see how that goes. Worst case scenario, you're gonna get some quality entertainment by seeing me eat special 3s left and right. But I guess we'll see that soon enough.